She's here now.
Hmm?
She's here now.
Yeah, so she'll let us in pretty soon.
Well, hi, Anne and Cletus. Good morning. I wonder where Gray is. Maybe she's hiding.
Good morning.
There she is. Yay.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Darlene, you're on mute.
So I was getting a little worried.
You're A-okay. They had me come in at 9 today. I'm not at the church in person anymore. So I just stepped into my car, but we're good to go. The Wi-Fi here is faster than in my apartment, so we're benefiting.
Good morning. We're here.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm
Good.
here. I just can't figure out why my camera's not coming on.
Did you, at the very beginning, it will have asked you to allow your camera and webcam. Did you hit allow or block?
I don't remember seeing that. Shoot. You know what? I think I'm going to log out and log back in, y'all. I'll be right there. Okay.
Sounds good. No worries.
I feel so smug, Darlene, that I know a little bit about what's going on.
Can you hear us?
That's awesome.
Can you
Glad
hear
to
us?
see you here. Oh yeah, we can hear you fine. Yeah.
Okay, well, we just needed to know. We
Now,
just
how come
needed
you're
to know.
using your phone and not your computer mic?
Yeah, the computer mic, let's see if I can get back to phone. The computer mic is hard, doesn't pick up well.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see faces. Ann and Cletus and Darlene and
Yeah.
Gray and Joe and
So
Stacy.
who's at the church?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Uh-uh.
What, the
Nobody at the
minister? is there?
No,
Nope. there's
nobody has to be at the.
Oh.
Nope.
I have the power.
Ann and Cletus, that is Gray. She's our media consultant.
Who is it?
Her name is Gray.
Where it says Unity of Gainesville.
Gray?
Gray Nebel is our tech person who is hosting this Sunday service.
So everyone's at home. Is that it?
Yes.
This is the person they are talking about.
Is Jennifer
I did
coming
not-
on?
Jennifer's back here.
Great.
Let's see if this has gone
Is it
ahead and
Gray?
fixed her. Pardon?
Is your first name Gray?
Yep, like the color.
Oh, but that's why I was asking, because I've never heard that name for a person, Gray.
So my mom wanted to name me Grace, and my dad thought I was going to be a boy, and I was going to be James Clifton Eagle III, and he was going to call me Trey as a shorthand, but my mom's like, no, we're going to have a girl as our child, and her name's going to be Grace. So they compromised. And they got a name that rhymed with Gray, but could work for either gender. Thus Gray.
Actually, Gray, I had a friend named Gray. It was a man.
Oh,
He
really?
was a Methodist minister in Ann Arbor back in 1951.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Hey, Gray.
Yeah, he was awesome.
And I need to figure out how to get my video going pretty quick. I said join with video, and so I'm not sure why my camera is not.
Is the little button, do you have like a security screen at top that's covered
I
up?
didn't read your one. I accidentally turned it
I'm
off.
on the security screen.
Is it covered up?
No, I don't know what you mean by covered up.
Well, you've got a camera button at the very top. Do you have a slider that will keep it closed to cover it?
Oh, I don't know.
I bet you do. In the middle at the very top. of your screen.
I am looking at the very top of my screen shows all of you guys on top of me. And so you're like the forefront.
I know, but if yours is covered up, we can't see you.
So how do I uncover it?
There's a slider. There should be a tab that slides it open.
I don't see it. I don't see that. Hide self view? No, it's not that.
Jennifer, by any
Yeah.
chance, do you happen to have any other program computer that's using your webcam? Because if so, it'll cut out your webcam for us.
No,
it says
no,
here your
nothing else
webcam
on my
is on.
computer is open. Nothing else is using the webcam. Photo booth is closed, so that's not using the camera. Yeah, there's nothing else using the camera right now. I've never had this problem before. This is so weird.
Okay, Jennifer, at the top of your screen, do you see the little light, the little button that shows the camera? Sometimes there's a tab that you can open or close.
I'll go into video settings and see if that's what's going on.
I don't think it'll show it there.
Well, I'm not sure where you're talking about, Darlene. I think we're looking at two different screens because my screen doesn't have the same thing.
No, I'm talking about your actual computer.
Oh, okay. Up there now. Where do I go?
Yeah, there should be a tab that slides open or closed.
Hold on.
Hi, Karen. You're on mute, honey.
Well, now I don't know what I've just done. There I am. Okay. So I've closed everything else out.
Now you're unmuted.
Okay.
Gray, can anyone tell me how to get my video working?
You know, again, the first thing that came to my mind, because I've had this problem before, is you've got another program running in the back of your computer that needs webcam access or had asked for it. Even another tab on your computer can sometimes prevent that from working. Alternatively, like Darlene mentioned, if you have something physically covering your camera's webcam, that wouldn't be a program. You know, like some people have like those little security things that they put like a piece of tape over their camera, like on the top of their computer, not a part of the
no, yeah, my camera's not covered up.
Other than that, just
so I'm sorry, Darlene, I'm just not
closing and restarting would be the other best thing I can do.
I'm not understanding what you're talking about. And we might just have to do this blank. I've never had this happen on the millions.
Jennifer, can you turn your computer off and turn your computer back on?
Oh, well,
I've already done that. Well, okay. Yeah.
Well, I've already logged off of this program, but it's already 11:58. 10:58. I don't want to do that right before the service is supposed to start because that's going to take a few minutes. All right, let's just breathe. Let's figure this out. I think if I go into my video settings, maybe. I don't know. HD camera built in, that's what it's on. Okay, when I'm highlighting my name and when I'm on my name, there's a blue button that says mute and then there's a drag down bar. But there's nothing on there about how to undo my. Okay, hold on. I'm going to look for a help button. Let me see if there's a help button somewhere. Maybe. Oh, this might be it. I might have just done something. Dagnabbit. Okay, I'm in my camera settings and it's on the FaceTime HD camera built in. Well, y'all, I am not sure what to do about this. You've got my audio so you can hear me. I just don't know how to. I'm going to keep y'all to the side and I'm going to bring up YouTube in a separate browser and see if I can find something.
While Jennifer is doing that, just a couple things for all of you who are here on the Zoom call. I will leave the Zoom call open for about 15-20 minutes after the service so that way we can all start catching up with one another. If you so desire, I can even put us in breakout rooms so that way it's a little bit more quiet. We can use the chat feature, whatever works best. Additionally, during the service, just to prevent any background noises, I do ask that you all go ahead and put yourself on mute, just in case your doorbell rings or you get a phone call. Up until then, no worries. However, as soon as that service starts, please go ahead, put yourself on mute. You can keep your cameras on. We love seeing your face. And then as soon as that service is over, again, I will keep the Zoom call open for about 20 minutes after, just for some chances to fellowship.
Well, I am not seeing anything. Okay, y'all, I am gonna do what Josephine said and log off and log back on, and I'll do it as quickly as I can. And Joe, I'm gonna try to shut the computer off and turn it right back on, okay? I'll be right there.
You just never know what you don't know. It's worth a shot. Does everybody have their white stone ready? Got mine. Oh, you got a rectangle one, Darlene.
I used the back of another year.
This one? Okay.
Yeah. I recycled. I keep all my stones from previous years.
I've got quite a collection going also.
In the meantime, how is everybody? How have we all been?
We're all good. I'm good.
How
I've
was
been
New Year? How was Christmas?
We're good. I think everybody's on mute, Gray.
Feel free to unmute yourselves. We're still waiting to start, but just how was everybody's New Year, Christmas, COVID year in quarantine?
Most people are still on mute.
I hope it's coming to an end, the quarantine part. I'm grateful it's a new year. Looking forward to seeing people.
You and me both. You and me both.
Something more than virtual. I am grateful for virtual, but I would like to do a little more than virtual.
Oh, of course, because we're a lot more than just a little screen, right? But like you said, it's better than nothing.
Of course, it's not be able to mute people so easily.
Yes. If I don't want to hear someone, I can easily turn them off.
Whoops, sorry about that.
I'm trying to think if I know Karen. Do I know you, Karen? This is LaVon.
Karen is a friend of mine.
Great.
She saw our post, my post on my Facebook page. So welcome, Karen, and your children. That's great.
Hi, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I messaged Kay yesterday and said I hope it's okay if I just drop in, and she said absolutely.
Crash this party.
Stacy's also a new face here. Someone I know
Stacey.
from another place and time, and glad you're here, Stacy.
Hey y'all, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Hi, Stacy.
I'm looking forward to hearing Jennifer's message and her singing.
Okay. All right. We like Jennifer too.
I actually went to high school with her.
Oh.
And
you probably got a lot of good stories.
I do. I do. It's been a long time, long time since I've seen her.
Hopefully you will today.
Yeah.
You will certainly hear her.
That's right.
Hi, Jeanette.
She's on, is she on mute? Mute, Jeanette.
Oh, I do have some news. I'm excited today when we do our giving. I got my stimulus, and so I'm going to give my tithe on my stimulus and a little bit more. So I'm excited about that. Woo!
Oh,
Yay,
good.
Lynn.
Yay.
Yay, stimulus. Yay, tithing.
And Joe, I love your professional looking background.
Thank you. Levon and I practiced with it yesterday. It was like, okay, how can we make this better? And she gave me lots of tips.
Yeah.
I did have a different background to begin with, and this is thank
So
you, Levon.
Do you have a green wall behind you?
No, that's actually a blanket on top of a picture that I had. The picture was too distracting, so put a blanket
yes.
over it.
Yeah, very good.
There are some really, really, really fancy Zoom screens that you can put behind you that I looked at, and I don't know if I can live up to them, you know, because one of the joys of Zooming is has been, I don't know about this deal, but I feel obliged to dress up a little here. But usually, if I'm in one of my women's groups, we don't bother with makeup and such. So I don't know if I can look as good as those backgrounds do. So
Especially those that are the universe or the stars. And
oh no, there are elaborate things like with office settings and nature. Some of the nature ones are really very beautiful.
Pretty.
You can even put your own photos as a background too.
Oh,
cool. I actually Googled Zoom meeting etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave like 5 tips, 5 or 6. And one of them said, do not use those simulated backgrounds because they really become a distraction. And they were fun to use when they first, when you first started experimenting with going to Zoom meetings. But with everybody having all those backgrounds and everything, it just took away from the meeting atmosphere. So it's like, that made sense. So.
Yeah, and in fact, I was glad to have mine distract for me. That was part of my purpose, as well as to cover up my background. And then I got where I it wouldn't download on my laptop. So does anybody know who's on their phone? Does anybody recognize the number? They're muted.
The 770
534, no.
Yeah.
534 5088.
Yeah, ends with 5088. Who are you?
Yeah. They're muted, but welcome.
Who are you?
That was pretty good, Lynn.
Oh, it's Ann. Maybe Ann is.
I've been waving at you.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So you're, all right.
And Cletus.
Yes.
Hi
Hey,
there.
Ann and Cletus.
Hi there.
Well, I knew it wasn't Jeray's number.
She's on her phone.
Somebody
Let's
give us
see,
a
Jennifer.
There's Jennifer. Yeah, they hear us.
Now you're
There's
muted.
Now Jennifer's muted.
*6, Jennifer.
You're muted.
*6 on the phone.
*6.
Unmutes.
Check 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Yay!
Hello, everybody. Everybody's in the house, even Jennifer.
Yay.
Right.
Yay!
I'm glad to join the party now. It's so nice
Yay.
to see everyone. Will it work if I do my, oh, it does work. Thank you. Wide angle view. So how's everybody doing this morning? Are we ready to get going?
All right.
Yes. Oh, mute.
I'm gonna go up.
So team, do we want to go ahead and start from the top right now? Are we live? Are we on our way?
We are live and ready whenever you are.
Well, all righty. You know what? I think we're going to skip the prelude since I had a little bit of issue with my camera. So my apologies to everyone that's viewing Zoom. But welcome, welcome. And we're very, very happy that you guys are all with us this morning on this inaugural training. It's very exciting. Technology can be our best friend and sometimes our worst enemy. But usually it always works itself out. So we're going to start with little Daniel Maymod this morning. Get Ready, My Soul. And if you know it, I want you to sing along. Hopefully this speaker never beats it.
I get to sing along.
How's the piano? Can you guys hear that piano? Hey guys, can people hear that? I want to make sure that
Yes,
everyone can.
ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. All right, here we go. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to a different kind of love, to a sweeter kind of love. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment here, to this situation here, and I'm seeing things more clearly now. Ain't that the truth? Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to a deeper kind of love and a sweeter kind of love. Get ready, my soul. Can you sing along to this next part? It's going to be a little bit high. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been. And here I go, closer, closer, closer to my secret source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been. And here I go, closer, closer, closer to my secret source. So everybody sing along. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to a different kind of love and a sweeter kind of love. Get ready, my soul. So get ready, my soul.
Thank you, Jennifer. So glad you made it. We knew you'd figure it out. It was a little tense there, but now we can all breathe and relax. Welcome, everybody. This is our first Zoom Sunday service, and we know it's gonna go well, and it can only get better. This is the first Sunday of the new year. So we'll say, Happy New Year, Happy New Me, Happy New You, and Happy New Gainesville.
Yes.
We are up for a wonderful, surprising, and exciting new year. Jennifer's going to be talking about Let's Start Anew. Okay, the sun has finally set on a surprising and unprecedented year of trials and tribulations. Amen to that. Today, we're joining together to embark on a bolder, brighter era of possibility, taking this opportunity to move forward in a positive direction. Hasta la vista, 2020. We have successfully made our way across your hotbed of burning coals and are ready to rise like a phoenix from the ashes to break through the glass ceiling of disillusionment and into the highest potential of this new year. Because I checked earlier, you have your white stones available with your markers, your white stone. I'm really excited about that, looking forward to it as I do every year. Did you follow up on your homework from last Sunday that Helen Vaughn gave us? We didn't take the time to do it during the service, but she suggested we allow our annual letter from God to us to come through us, and we would take dictation from God coming from our hearts. We're not submitting the letters to the church to be mailed out to you, but we're suggesting that you do complete those letters, put them in a sealed envelope. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick my letter in with my Christmas decorations when I put them away. So next year when I pull them out, I know I'm going to be delighted with what God has to tell me for this coming year, and see what transpired that God said was going to transpire. Right now I have a few announcements. We have our usual Zoom gatherings that go on through the week, and you can have access to them through our unityofgainesville.org website. You have the A Course in Miracles, the Tea and Talk, Soul Sisters, and the monthly men's group that you can get access to through the website. Also on the website, if you're not already signed up for the Thursday newsletter that gets emailed with our more current, up-to-date announcements, there is a place on the website that you can sign up for that as well. This previous Thursday morning, December 31st, LaVon Hoagland and Helen Vaughn treated us to their experiment with a Zoom meeting as we were in observance of World Peace Day. So if you missed the newsletter, you may have missed that special observance that we had along with the rest of the world, praying for world peace. Now, we're still trying to reach our goal of 100% participation in our year-end giving opportunity. The campaign is dictating or specifying that we do want 100%. We are virtual right now. We're not in the church, but that doesn't mean our church isn't there. We need to keep our church going because we all are setting the intention to be back live in the church with everybody, no masks, healthy, and more experience from having gone through this trial. Hopefully we're learning and growing from it. I really enjoyed that virtual service that we had, and I was very impressed with real soul sisters who showed up to participate. And that's what I love about Unity of Gainesville, how we support each other, how we're encouraging each other to step out of our safeties, our comfort zones, and trying something new. Unity encourages people to find their own path that speaks to them. And at Unity of Gainesville, we share how we're growing and how we're making mistakes and becoming open to accepting suggestions and encouragement. So that's really special to me here at Unity of Gainesville. Now let's take a breath. Get centered in however works best for you to go within, clear all the anxieties, the tensions that we had about this first trial. Open ourselves to the power and presence of all that is. As we say, O Holy Oneness, we know that in this service, we will be given exciting and most importantly, helpful insights to where we want to go and where we will be heading. And we allow any messages that you have for us to resonate through the week as we put into practice what we learned today. And we'll say amen. And now I'd like to invite Darlene Becker, our prayer chaplain, to lead us in praying for, in the daily word and then praying for others. So thank you, Darlene.
The theme for today in the daily word is potential. The affirmation is, yes, I am able. Yes, I can. Would you repeat that with me, please? Yes, I am able. Yes, I can. Growing up, I received encouragement from my family, school teachers, and the other adults in my life. Their positive, affirming words helped lead me to pursue my passions and trust my gifts so that I might realize my potential. Now that I'm older, I turn to the divine within me to discern how I might best fulfill my potential. I prayerfully ask, what possibilities need to be realized in my life? What ignites my passion for self-expression? I receive inspiration from the time I spend in prayer. As I pray, any lingering thoughts of doubt or insecurity are replaced with renewed energy and enthusiasm. Nothing can stop me from stepping out boldly into the world to fulfill my potential. I can do all things through him who strengthens me, from Philippians 4, verse 13. And now, if you would, please join me in praying over the requests which have been received as prayer requests. You may also speak into this sacred space the names of all who are on your personal prayer list, and you can do this now. We know for these names spoken and unspoken that God is the active energy of life, love, health, and peace. As we release this prayer to the energy of the divine, we know and affirm that all is working for the highest and best in all conditions. And so it is. Amen. Jennifer's muted.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. All right, we're going to start out this service today, the new year. We're going to be visioning, and we're going to be, I ran off for just a little bit, and I got my big, giant white stone. We're going to do a white stone ceremony, and I have my Sharpie too. So while I'm doing this opening song, if you don't currently have anything, it's okay if you just do a piece of paper and a pen and work with what you have. But we're going to be doing our new name and our new intention for the new year with our white stone today. That's what we're going to be doing with visioning. Last week, we threw it all away and we burned all the stuff that we were ready to get rid of. And now we're going to allow a new vision. Turn my piano off a little bit. Hold a vision of the life I choose today, and then patiently I wait. So much good's already coming to me now, as I consciously awake. And I allow a new vision. Can you sing that with me? I allow a new vision. As I seek direction, it now comes to me. And all I have to do is ask. And I'm learning there are really no mistakes, because Spirit guides each task. And I allow a new vision. I allow a new vision. And let the past all fade away. And every day I'm unfolding to the joy that I've created with the one who has created me. I see my path so clearly right in front of me, and I'm following where it goes. As in a vision comes, I let it carry me, and I surrender to the flow. And I allow a new vision. I allow a new vision. I allow a new vision. Thank you, everybody, and welcome, welcome. Again, I gave you the precursor. We are going to be talking about our visions for this year, and the white stone ceremony actually goes back to the days of Jesus, and back in the olden times when you were set free from bondage, or if you were let out of jail or prison or bondage or slavery, you were given a white stone, and that was your evidence that you were a free person. And so metaphysically, the white stone means rising in consciousness. It means achieving a new higher level of consciousness, a growing consciousness. And isn't that really what we're all about? So let's start out this year. You're going to hear a little bit of squeaky because I fidget when I talk and I'm sitting on my old piano bench. But let's begin by acknowledging and confirming the old year. And yeah, that really happened. All that stuff really happened. And I don't know how you guys showed up to last year, but for me, I was using my spiritual teachings all through everything. And I was kind of already in the zone with mom, so I was used to staying at home, and she was not walking real well, so I was used to not going out a whole lot. So for me, it wasn't quite as stir crazy bad. But it's been touch and go, and it's not just the pandemic. You know, there's lots of things happening in the world, and there are a lot of there's a lot of shift going on. And so we're not really going to name things and point fingers today. We're just going to say there's stuff happening. Bob Marley was scheduled to go to a peace concert and perform. He was headlining, and he was shot twice. And a couple of days later, it was just a couple of days before the concert, and he got up, got himself up, got himself fixed up, and he went to that concert. And someone there said, "Why have you shown up to perform at this concert today? You just got shot." And Bob Marley said, you know, the people who are doing their best, hold on, I gotta find it because it's such a good quote. Oh, wait for it. He said, the people that are wanting to spread darkness in the world aren't taking a day off. How can I? And I think for all of us that are in New Thought and are on a spiritual path, there is this inner responsibility. We're not just visioning today for the new year for us. We're conscious enough to know that our vision just automatically includes the world's vision, that it's all connected. All of it is connected. Our individual visions, our visions as a tribe of friends and like-minded people, our vision as a nation, our vision as a planet, it's all connected. And I have to say that the very first day of the year, which was 2 days ago, Friday, boy, it was a rough one for me. I really went through like a dark night of the soul. And I spent most of the day just in my room, kind of weeping. And I think for many of us, when the new day of the very first day of the new year starts, it's like, boom, you're automatically supposed to feel re-energized and enlightened people are supposed to go, yes, it's the brand new year. We're starting everything fresh and new. And when you wake up that day and you don't feel that way, sometimes it makes us feel even more guilty. But sometimes it was only last Sunday that we threw away all the old stuff, you guys. And so, yeah, maybe instantly for some of us, some of that stuff will go away. For me, I the word angst and feeling fire. And then all of a sudden on Friday, I was like the queen of angst. But everything that we're trying to get rid of is going to come back around and test us and say, are you sure you really want us to go? And as a result of the angst that was processing through me, my daughter came back as we were. We had a wonderful open heart-to-heart talk. And then my husband and I later in the day had a really great heart-opening talk. And you know, I'm just all of that to say that sometimes, everybody, it's going to take more than just 24 hours for the old year to cycle out and for all of our old stuff to cycle out. There's a lot. There's a lot just from 2020, just surviving and being a survivor of 2020. Well, for the holidays, Eddie gave me a wonderful book called Welcoming the Unwelcome. And it's by Pema Chodron. She's a Mahayana Buddhist. And she says in her book, in the very first subtitle of the very first chapter, our aim is to fully awaken our hearts and minds, not just for our own greater well-being, but also to bring benefit and solace and wisdom to other living beings. What motivation could top that? So our collective aim, whether we realize it or not, is for the greater whole. I mean, that for the majority of us, that's what our aim is to show up as a better human so that we can assist others. and be the light and be the example and be the help in the hands of action. So Pema goes on to say in her book, the Buddha taught that all of us at our essence are good and loving. Because of this basic goodness, we naturally want to be there for others, especially those who are closest to us and those who are in greatest need. We are keenly aware that others need us, especially now. We want to do what we can to alleviate the fear, angst, and painful groundlessness that so many of us are experiencing these days. But what often happens when we try to help is that we find our own confusion and habitual tendencies getting in the way. And isn't that what happens sometimes? We're trying so hard to be helpful that a lot of our stuff comes up and it blocks us. I'm going to go ahead and cheat a little bit and tell you ahead of time that my white stone word, I had been thinking about it and I already have it. I had picked grace. And that's what I'm going to write on my stone in just a few minutes. We're going to go into the white stone ceremony in a little bit. But I picked the word grace. I just want to show up gracefully. I want to do the best I can, and I want to show up filled with grace and allowing God to just work through me and getting myself out of the way. That's my goal for this year. And I don't know what your word is going to be. I don't know who you are going to be, who you want to be this year. Eddie and I watch a lot of television now that we're, with the corona, we're hanging out at home. And we got the new Wonder Woman movie, which I thought was awesome. It's kind of getting panned by the critics, but I thought it was pretty cool. And the very opening scene, the young Wonder Woman, whose name is Diana, she's maybe 8 or 9 years old. She's a little bitty thing. And she's in this competition with all the other warrior goddesses. And they're about to do a cross-country obstacle course type of competition. And so the chime goes off and there they go. And she just scoots out in front and she's so strong. And she gets knocked off of her horse, takes a circuitous route and ends up getting back into the tournament and is ahead of the others. And she's about to throw her javelin for the final throw to win the tournament. And her mother comes and places her hand on her shoulder. Well, her trainer comes first and then her mother comes soon after. And Diana says, "Why didn't you let me win? Why? Why didn't you let me win? I was going to win." And Diana's mother put her hand on her shoulder and she said, "This world is not yet ready for all that you will do." And isn't that how it is sometimes? Sometimes the world just isn't ready yet. And sometimes we feel disappointed or out of sorts when whatever the word or the thing that we picked for that year or that dream or that goal doesn't actually come to fruition. And then we beat ourselves up because the new year has started and that thing never really happened. And maybe it's just not time. I think that whole thing that Diana's mother says to her, the world is not yet ready for all that you will do. But sometimes we're like little children. We just want things to happen now. Now, please. And the universe doesn't work like that because greater consciousness and higher consciousness has everything running like a well-oiled machine. Like one of those really neat, my friend Jen down in Stuart, Florida, got this really neat kit to make this instrument. It's kind of a Middle Eastern kind of instrument. I can't remember what it's called. But there were a million kibble and bits, little parts that rolled around each other to create this sound. And that's what I feel like the universe is like. It's all these, like this tapestry behind me, all these different intricate patterns that happen for all of us to be able to exist. And so sometimes at the beginning of the year, we'll beat ourselves up because things didn't happen right then when we wanted them to. But then a couple years later, oh gosh, I'm so glad this happened now and not when I immediately asked for it. Can you imagine? Things are always going to work themselves out. And I think that's the basic thing for all of us to come away with this year. Let's set our intention. Let's start, getting ready and getting still with our white stones close by because we're going to go into that pretty soon. But let's this year, and especially right here in this moment, let's just close our eyes for a second and breathe in. Calmness, breathe out. All that needs to go. In calmness. breathe out all that is ready to go. I am empowered, strong, and full of life. Can you sing that with me? I am empowered, strong, and full of life. And I know it's so. So it is. So it is. Amen. Let's sing one more verse. I am amazing, filled with sacred sight. I am amazing, filled with sacred sight. And I know it's so, and I know it's so. So it is, so it is. Amen. This is the time that we want to breathe into our innermost being, deep into our hearts. Breathing into the ember that is our very soul, which is our very connection to spirit, to higher consciousness. In our heart of hearts, we allow ourselves to be guided to that which we can make manifest now, to the seeds that we can plant that can be made manifest in the future. And we trust and know that divine timing is always, always functioning. And so right now we focus on who we are right now in this precious moment. What name is calling us? What character trait? What moral fiber is calling us? What is it that we want to be this year? And we may not know what we want to be this year. Maybe we just want to be, capital B, this year. Let's gently open our eyes and come back. And let's take our white stone or our paper, whatever is representing it, and simply raise your hand if you have nothing in front of you. That can be more physical. And then take your pen on your finger. If you want to write it on your hand. Let's write down who we want to be. How we want to show up. What we want to represent. I'm grateful and I'm happy. Oh, I've got a smile on my face. And I'm open to the grace of love. Fills all time and space. I am empowered, strong, and full of life. I am empowered, strong, and full of life. And I know it's so, and so it is. I know it's so, and so it is. I know it's so, so it is. Amen. How does it feel? How does it feel to have your white stone? And it's okay. You know what? I forgot to tell you. It's okay if you left it blank for now. Because maybe you don't feel called to one particular thing right now, and that's okay. And if that's what you're going to do, oh, I didn't fill out my white stone. Let's see if I can talk and chew gum at the same time. What you can do is, well, here, it's an example. I can show you an example. You can just draw a circle in the middle of your hole, right there. And you can put your word right there. And for now, you can just kind of doodle around it. Or you can, throughout the week, you can get little craft paint. There's all sorts of little dot patterns that you can make to really, make it really fancy schmancy. Oh, so my word is going to be grace. Don't worry, we're almost done, everybody. There's just a couple more things I wanted to go over. So I hope you guys were able to find a really neat name for yourselves. A really neat call. So for my dark night of the soul thing that happened, I ended up getting out of there Friday. By Friday night, I was okay, and I laid there and I called my word grace to me. And I just lay there for like 5 or 10 minutes after everyone had their thoughts with me. I said, I allow grace to enter my life. I allow grace to enter my life. And sometimes that's all we need to do, you guys. Just be still, and whatever your word is, whatever that is that you need to be called to this year, use that as your mantra all year long. If you can't think of any other prayer or any other mantra, use this word, or not this word, your word, as your mantra for the rest of the year. And so the very next day, I'm working with Eddie over a local high school. We're doing the tennis courts. And I'm leaving and I'm hearing this NPR thing. And I only catch like a minute and a half of it. But it's a guy talking about how parts of your brain start to shut down when your nervous system becomes compromised. And your nervous system becomes compromised when all of your worry and your stress and and you start tensing up and your nervous system becomes compromised and constricted. And rather than our bodies existing and our decisions and all of our thoughts and our very essence existing from our frontal part of our brain, the synapses start going off in other parts of our brain. And they start becoming more and more disconnected. And eventually we just feel totally disconnected. And that's what happened to me on Friday. I felt disconnected. And he said, and then, as that happens, as more and more stress is going and our nervous system is becoming more and more compromised, we just get more and more and more disconnected. And for me, because my husband is a little bit cynical sometimes, and I like to hear scientific evidence to back up my spirituality sometimes. I just like that. And it was really neat instant validation that so much of what was happening to me just a few hours prior to that, just 24 hours prior to hearing that, there's a reason for that. And sometimes it's physiological. It's all connected in here. Our thoughts, our angst, what happens with us physiologically, health-wise, it's all connected. And sometimes it's just nice to remember that and to be, oh, okay, yeah, I really had an episode the other day. And that's scientifically, that's what happened as I was having that episode. And I don't know, it just hearing the validation of what I was going through instantly. And that's what happens for you guys. Just as you need to hear guidance and you allow yourself and allow yourself, suddenly spirit is going to come through at the darndest times. And the universe is going to answer that angsty thing that has come up for you. So if you're feeling the angst, go to your white stone this year. And thank you all so much for how you showed up in 2020. Thanks to Unity of Gainesville, to all of the board members and the staff, all of the congregants that have helped to keep things going by viewing and participating and watching, all of the donors. everyone, our musicians and our sound team and our audio team. Thank you, everybody at Unity of Gainesville, for showing up how you have shown up in this past year, and for overcoming a lot of technical obstacles, and for getting yourselves out there and for getting the word of love and light and grace out there. So namaste, and here we come. I have one closing thing that I saw on Facebook, and that's going to be the end of my talking. I saw a post on Facebook the other day, and this girl, Hillary DiPiano, was quoted as saying, "You can get excited about the future. The past won't mind." Namaste, everyone. I love you guys.
Hey, Jennifer, thank you. Hopefully Spirit has inspired you with who you are going to show up as in this coming year, and good stuff to dwell on, even if it hasn't come in this very in this setting. Continue to dwell on it. It will come. So thank you, Jennifer. Now we have the opportunity to share our gifts to Unity of Gainesville, knowing that the energy of your love carries us forward and helps Unity of Gainesville to make a difference in people's lives. So there are many ways that you can make your donations. You can just mail a check into the church, go to the Unity of Gainesville website, and there's a donate button that will drop down and give you a list of different ways to contribute. Or you can use your text messaging app on your smartphone and type in the number 833-987-2047. Once you type that number in, go to the message part of the app and just type in the dollar amount that you want to contribute. And we are very appreciative of your past support and however you choose to support us now and in the future. So thank you for that. As you contemplate what you're going to be giving, let's set the intention for our gifts, knowing that divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I choose to give and all that I am open to receive. And I give in love and I receive in abundance. Thank you, God. I am so blessed. Knowing abundance is on its way, flowing to us, let us bless these gifts, knowing that they come from love and gratitude to bring abundance to this community in order to be of spiritual service according to divine will. And so it is.
All right, I'm going to see if this track works, everybody, and hopefully it's not going to blast you out. Let's see if it works. We'll see if they can hear you. If you guys are going to be able to hear that. I am creating my highest good. Those doors are open like they should. I am creating a better life. I make up every day and everyone is nice. I'm living, I see it, and then before I know it, my world certainly will show it. I am creating my highest good. As I take new roads, it's understood. I am creating a better space. I know I'm always in my right and perfect place. 'Cause I'm created, my highest good. I am created. I am created. I am created, my highest good. Can you sing that part with me? I am created. Sing it like you mean it. I am created. That's right. I am created, my highest good. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you, Jennifer. Let's close out with the prayer for protection. So we will all say, light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. God enfolds are the love of God. Power of God protects us. We are the power of God. God watches over us. We are the presence of God. We affirm that wherever we are, God is and all is well. And so it is. Amen. Okay, hopefully Gray will stop the recording now and we can just socialize and inspire each other and encourage each other in this fellowship time.
Woohoo! Yay!
Whew. Man, you guys,
Good job,
I'm so
Jennifer.
sorry about the rocky start.
All right, everyone. I hope y'all had a good service.
Thank you,
Oh, it
Gray.
was great. Thanks, Gray. You were
Of
great.
course.
Thanks, Greg.
I'm glad it worked.
Hey guys, how was the sound with the piano and the voice and everything? Was it balanced and okay?
I had trouble hearing
have
some of your
it pull- I
words, Jennifer.
Gotcha, Kate.
My
Wasn't
5G phone was great.
One
I
thing,
had Facebook
Jennifer,
pulled up.
when
You sounded
someone's
great on
talking,
Facebook.
if you play, you can't hear them talk. You can only get one audio at a time. So
Yes.
like when Joe was saying the prayer and you were playing, it blanked out her praying.
Yeah.
So you have to one at a time.
I got you. Yeah, that's a great point, and that's something I can't tell. So awesome. And because I can't be doing stuff with my hands on the piano and I'm talking, so I can't
Right.
mess with the screen to see.
Right. And I did while you were talking, I ordered 2 copies of the book, Welcoming the Unwelcoming. She is wonderful. So the bookstore will have at least 2 copies of those.
Great. Great.
Yay!
Yay.
It's really good.
For our first time, I think this was great. I mean,
Yes.
the quality of the music wasn't like in person, which I'm used to since I'm there at the service. But it's great. I'm really glad we're all be able to gather together like this.
Yes.
Can we
Nice
tell
to
how
be
many
able to
people?
see faces.
Yes.
It's
But I
nice
don't
to see
understand.
faces.
Yeah. I don't understand what they're talking about though, because it seems like, Jennifer, you should be able to play and we could still hear somebody else talking at the same time.
You can't. It's one thing at a time.
Right.
Well, that's not that. I mean, we can talk over each other and be interrupted and rude to people.
No.
There are settings, and I think that's what messed me up at the beginning of the service. Somebody's calling me. I don't know what that is. But there are settings that you can push in your advanced that you can suppress the background noise and get rid of the background noise. But everyone would have to know to do that. So until that miracle happens, everybody just goes one at a time. I think that's a great point. It's a learning. This was our first thing and we successfully did it.
Yes.
So that's a miracle. So thank you, God.
Yeah.
I think it's the speaker mode setting. So whoever's speaking, it switches to their picture or whatever and their sound. But if somebody else is doing it, it switches back to them.
Mm-hmm.
So your music was switching you back to yourself, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe,
Joe,
maybe.
Joe, I
could
wonder if you know how you cut out sometime when we're on meetings. I wonder if that was what was happening when you were talking. it was like you would come and go. And so I don't know if that's the internet connection, the speed that we've been talking about. That
could be too.
Yeah.
But that could, I was playing under her for some of it. I didn't do it through all of it, but for some of it. And so I can understand if that piano was dominating and taking over Joe's sound wave, basically. And so that's stuff to figure out on the way. We'll start making a tickler list.
Right. And maybe Gray could switch us to galley mode or open it to all, so the musician and the speaker can have it going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
we
for
can
me,
have
Jennifer,
up to 2 people spotlighted. But if we have 2 people spotlighted on the Zoom call, it won't show on Facebook.
Oh, yes.
Interesting.
You guys remember, there's always the alternate universes that we're dealing with.
Yeah. Because I was watching it on Facebook as well, but I wonder, I didn't have any trouble hearing Darlene or Josephine when they spoke, but I did have trouble with some of your words, Jennifer. I couldn't hear some of them. It wasn't that you were cutting out, and it could be my ears, but I didn't have any trouble hearing Darlene and Josephine.
Well, and you know what? I'm connected through my Bluetooth speaker right now with all of you guys, and there may have been a short going through the speaker versus just going through a headset live into the phone. And that was all kind of emergency situation. You would have been able to hear me better through my speakers on my computer, which is right in front of me, right down here, which ended up, y'all couldn't see my face. And so I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'll be playing with Zoom this week and educating tutor myself to figure out why. And I think I was jacking around with the settings at the beginning. And I think I may have jacked around with something that somehow turned my video off or something.
Yeah. When I put in my earbuds or whatever they're called, I could hear you better.
Yeah, that's always the case.
Yeah.
If y'all have just old fashioned, I was going to show my good old clunky headphones.
Oh,
you
yes.
can just click them right into your little round input on your computer. And you'll always be able to hear better when you have direct earbuds or headphones on.
I didn't have any hearing you, Jennifer.
Okay. All right.
I didn't either. Do the headphones help with the quality of the music, or not necessarily?
It just makes the headphones makes you be able to hear everything sharper.
Okay.
And you guys, Eddie for Christmas got me a little pre-mix board. And so by this time next week, I'll be doing music next week too. I'll be on board for the first few Sundays because Kristen has stuff going on. But it's a little mixer that I'll plug a microphone into and my tracks into, and then that'll go into the computer, and then you'll get like a perfect audio. And
okay. All right.
So there are little units that you can buy if you're a consistent speaker or a consistent musician doing stuff, and that's just yet another level of learning curve that I'm aspiring into.
Right.
Figuring out how to do the digital thing and lock it down.
How do I change my picture?
Cindy?
Yes.
You.
I'm here.
Yay.
We can hear you.
I've been chatting, just putting it in the text messages, but I agree with what everybody said. And I think you guys did fantastic for a first time.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think we can only get even better. There was some distortion, as y'all have mentioned, but I mean, overall, I think great job, and we'll just keep rising and shining.
That's right.
Cindy, I'd like to know what your equipment is. Your voice is coming through very, I can hear all the sounds in your voice, and it projects better than what we've been listening to otherwise, and it could be our individual equipment.
Yeah, you're probably right. I was wondering, I'm just doing this on my iPhone, but I often will do meetings and family gatherings on Zoom with my computer. So I don't know, probably, earbuds, computer, phone. The pre-mixer, I think, will be fantastic for Jennifer, or whoever's doing music. But yeah, I'm sure it's going to be slightly different depending on what your device is.
Yeah.
And where you're located.
Right. Yeah, that also, because if you don't have a good connection, that's going to interfere. Yeah.
I'd like to add something.
Go ahead. Did you unmute? You have to unmute
Unblinking.
yourself.
He did, I hear him.
Hey y'all.
Hey, Marlon.
Hey,
It's-
Marlon.
Sorry, I'm still laid up, so I'm not look the best. So that's why I'm just got my standard picture in there. But the one thing I also noticed is that the key players, that would be Joe and Jennifer, whoever was doing the message and the music, should definitely have some sort of lighting that illuminates them better. So whether, it seems everybody's getting those halo LED lights and or something like that. That's not, you could shine a light bulb on yourself. I know that's kind of irritating, but that does improve the presentation. I notice when I'm watching videos, I see people
Yes.
where the video looks professional. It seems like they have just some good lighting. So however they accomplish that, it seems to be that a lot of people are using those halo lighting devices that attach to your phone. So,
And Jennifer, that helped whatever you just did.
Well, that was my light. I have one of those and it's shining on me right now. And I have a light next to me and I have my top light on and I have a window. But yeah, I understand, sometimes it's just the brightness of your video. And again, that's a setting that I can go in and kind of adjust my brightness. I'm really going to be boning up on the Zoom thing and making sure I'm jiggy with it for next week.
Appreciating you and all of you who've been getting this together.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, yes. And trying something new, that's always, a little anxiety goes with that. But it certainly paid off today. I'm really glad to be able to see everybody speak.
And I, would like to add to what Jeanette is saying, because every Sunday I would watch it on Facebook. Well, could see, of course, the speakers I could see, but maybe some of them as they were moving around in the room, I said, "Oh, so and so's there," and so it was good to be able to see you all, even though it's a little picture, and to know that I can be seen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I love Zoom.
Yeah.
You're looking good, Kay. I love your long hair. I haven't seen it in a long time.
11 months since it's been cut.
I love it. You look fantastic with that long hair.
Well, I haven't seen many of you in months, and it's really great to see your cheery faces. And I'm just so thrilled that so many people showed up for this first Zoom meeting. So
Can we
thank you.
tell how many people logged on, Marlon? Are y'all, does anyone know? Can we tell?
I counted 18.
Oh,
We had 18 on the
Wow.
service, and then we had up to 8 people at one point on the Facebook, including
Different
myself.
people. Yeah. So that's good.
Hey, Marlon.
We'll grow from there. Hi, Cletus.
Hi there. Marlon, can you hear me?
Yes.
Marlon.
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I
Cletus.
wanted to touch base with you. What are those glasses? Weird looking glasses. That's a still picture. I know, but what are those glasses?
I can't hear you, Cletus. Can you?
Oh, he's asking you what your glasses are. Are they goggles or are they your sunglasses?
Oh, they're sunglasses. It's just a quick picture I put up because I didn't want you to see me guys laying in bed here because I've got my leg elevated. So,
What happened?
What happened?
He wants to know what happened.
I had an injury at work on New Year's Eve, Wednesday, and it was a heavy item that was being hoisted, and it fell from the hoist and impacted my thigh, and thank goodness it didn't pierce the skin or break the bone or hit my knee or my groin. So I considered it a near miss, but my work doesn't, because that shouldn't have fell off there like that. So anyway, so I've been icing it and keeping it elevated. It's really just severely swollen and is getting better. But now it's, the all the pretty colors are starting to show up, the bruising. And yeah, and I mean, I kid you not, it's from the top of my thigh, inside thigh, all the way down to my knee. And the swelling was pretty much that whole area too. But now it's gotten better because I've been icing it. But yeah, it's just one of those things. And yeah, I got to look at, what happened and why it happened, and we got to, avoid it in the future. So of course, I got involved with the safety director and my boss, and then they said, you need to go home and put that thing up and rest it. And so not bad though. This is my first safety accident in almost 5 years. So for the most part, safety guy did okay, but not so much on Wednesday. So it made for an interesting New Year's with Cindy.
I'll
But
bet.
yeah, we still managed. Just had to get a lifetime supply of ice for the last 4 days and just ice it up. I'm sorry. Oh, and a cane. Yeah, I got to use a cane to walk. And
Oh,
yeah.
but you're walking, that's good.
Yeah, I am. But here's the thing. I was hobbling already, and then this happened, and it made the hobble worse. So, but yes, I'm grateful for, I still feel so lucky because it could have been so much worse. I really do believe that, because the part where the shaft from the meteor roll impacted my leg, scraped along about a 4-inch path of travel, and it was about maybe an inch wide. So if that would have broke through the skin, it would have been really ugly. So, and it didn't. So, and I guess the old guy got out of the way fast enough, because that's what I did. I jumped back, but I'm not fast enough for it to completely miss me. So, but anyway, so that's my story. Sorry,
You
I
said
took a bit.
healing and health and recovery, and right and perfect recovery, and right and perfect healing, free from pain, free from swelling, everything back in its healthy state. We see that.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys something. When we were having services at the church and I was there, there's always that moment where you can mention a person's name during the sacred prayer time. And I have been mentioning a friend of mine at work who was right after he retired, was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. And so it's been a real struggle for him, but I continued to mention his name and in the unity prayer circles. And I just wanted you guys to know that he is, I saw a picture of him this morning getting ready to go to church. He looks great. The cancer is at bay right now. He's still got some challenges ahead of him because all the surgery he had, they had to remove some of his esophagus and reorient his stomach to attach the esophagus. So that was kind of a big deal surgery, almost like a combined esophageal and stomach band surgery, I think. And so it's changed the way he eats and all that kind of stuff. But he did look really good in that picture this morning. And I just thought I wanted to let you guys know that, because he's been in Unity's energy circle of prayer. And I know that he's got a ton of people praying for him, but I know that's helping. So just his name out, by the way, his name is Don Cantrell. And I wanted you guys to know that. So terrific guy. He's a former Navy guy. So whenever he saw me at work, he'd say, "Hey, sailor." I always thought that was funny. Anyways, wanted you guys to know that.
Well, I have to sign off because I haven't gone down and seen Mom yet today. So I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to give all of y'all's love to her and give her big hugs. And I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon, okay?
Say
All
hi
right.
to
Bye.
Karen from
Bye,
us.
Jennifer. Thank you.
Hi, Jennifer.
Love you.
Tell your mom hi.
screen.
I will.
Ellen has something to add today. So I don't know if y'all noticed, but there was a family online with us today. Her name was Karen, and she had 2 teens with her, one a young adult and one a 15-year-old girl. And they live in the Hall County, Gainesville area, but they didn't give me any contact information. So I didn't know if anybody here actually knew Karen and their family.
Yes, I do. She's a friend of mine.
Great. So then we do know how to reach out, but I gave her information to contact me as well. So just FYI, I was so happy to see them here.
Yeah.
I just say it feels good that we're all together,
Yes.
and in a safe way. We don't have to worry about, we don't know who's been where with whom. And, we can practice all the protocols we want in the sanctuary. It's still a lot riskier than this avenue of having service, and hopefully it will just get us through until we don't have to do this anymore.
Right.
So, thank you for your tolerance and patience and willingness to participate however we can get the message to each other.
I also want to speak to that too, Joe, because there are some people who don't see this as necessarily a step in the right direction. So I just want to reach out to those just in a spiritual way, that they find understanding and acceptance and in this moment, because we're all doing the best we can.
Right.
And I want to thank Darlene for moving this forward. Mwah. Thank you, Darlene.
Well, you're so very welcome. We're glad to see you on Zoom.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Time for lunch. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Always on schedule.
A good one.
I just wanted to mention. I just wanted to mention.
If you ask Cletus if he's hungry, he'll look at his watch.